All right, here we go. I'm Kat, and this is Bubba, and this is our third installment
Week number 3
of
Back
It's
at
Hot.
It again with the white fans.
It's Hot Where We're Going.
It is hot.
All right.
Where I'm going, I don't know.
Well, it's not hot. Well, it's warm right now, but it's not hot.
When the floor is lava and the walls are lava and the ceiling's lava, it's fucking hot.
It's hot. It's hot. When you start seeing your in-laws, it's hot. Ex-in-laws. Sorry, ex-in-laws. So, shit. Not a good way to start. All right. Well, they don't listen anyway. So what's new with you, Bubba?
I went to the car show Saturday night. Helped my wife set up they had a little bake sale up there.
Oh, those are good. Yeah.
And home baked goodies. I made some caramels for that.
I don't know if we ate the caramels.
They got a little too warm, so they were a little harder than I usually like them, but they were good. The flavor was spot on.
Awesome. Yeah, we bought some stuff. Cookies were gone that night. I think each kid ate like 4, and then I ate a couple, and wife got a couple.
There was a lot of good stuff, and they did well.
Yeah, those peanut butter cookies were good.
I don't remember who made those, but I've got a rhubarb pie on the way. The lady who made the pies brought 4 or 5 pies, $10 each. They were gone within like the first 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for
Whole
them.
pies.
Yuck. I don't like rhubarb.
Well, no, but she had cherry, apple. There was.
Oh, okay. So she made
different flavors. Yeah.
Cool.
But,
Awesome. So yeah, for me, we got a shit ton of cherries off of our tree, and there's still a ton on there. And I'm looking up recipes on how to make cherry wine out of them.
Oh yeah.
But the only recipes I can find, they're making like 6 gallons at a time.
That's a lot of wine.
Yeah, I don't need that much. And then I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm on this 1-year hiatus of drinking. Can I test my wine to make sure it tastes okay? I would think it'd be okay. I mean, I'm not. I'm not going out drinking. It's I'm still having cough syrup when I need it, and things that probably have some alcohol in them. And but yeah, so we've still got a shit ton out there, but we're gonna be gone. So I might just pluck them all this weekend and then stick them in the fridge and see if I can find a cherry pitter somewhere, because I really don't want to pit all them suckers by hand.
Don't they make?
Yeah, it's a little handheld deal that's got a little plug in the middle and it just pops it right out. So.
Is it like an olive pitter or something?
It's similar, yeah. So we'll see. So one thing I wanted to know on this podcast here is, we don't have a lot of listeners yet, but hopefully the audience will keep growing. But this goes out to you guys who do listen. What do you want to hear in a podcast that's different from other podcasts? We're trying to do more funny stuff and all that, and we're working our way up to that. We're still getting our feet wet. We're a little nervous about this stuff, trying to get the equipment all fine-tuned. We've got new mics this week. But what do you guys want to hear? If you could just leave feedback either on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, or let us know personally, whatever it is. So what do you guys want out of a podcast? So let's move on here. This is a little dry, but to our artist of the week, we were talking a little bit ago. I actually sent the guy a message. Puddles Pity Party. If you haven't seen this guy, I'm gonna let Bubba take it. He's a little more familiar with him, but
he's big on YouTube right now. Has been for a little while. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he was just on America's Got Talent and got 4 yeses. But he is you can't miss him. He's a tall clown, dressed in all white makeup. He calls it Puddles Pity Party. I guess his MO is that he's a sad clown.
Right. He doesn't talk, right? Wasn't that his deal?
He doesn't talk, but the man has the golden voice.
Yeah, he's got some pipes. That's for sure.
He can sing probably anything.
Now, do you know, did he do this Puddles Pity Party before he sang with Postmodern Jukebox? That I'm not sure about, if he did that pre-post Modern Jukebox, or if that was his kickstart that got him into this.
Well, that was kind of the video that people started watching, and
Right.
But he was already doing it.
He was, okay.
I think they found each other probably through YouTube, and they did a collaboration together. It was excellent.
Yeah, he did a really cool version of Royals. That was pretty awesome.
It was excellent.
But I don't, Postmodern Jukebox themselves, they just, the stuff they do is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funky.
Taking that old style music and putting it to new tunes is pretty slick. So, but yeah, if you guys can, like I said, we tried to get a hold of the guy to see if we could put images up or whatever of him. Haven't heard from him, so don't know if there's a gray area there, how that goes. But we'll put some links and stuff in the YouTube when we can.
Otherwise, you can look him up. We'll link to. He does a Ring of Fire Pinball Wizard kind of mashup.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Really good. I think most of our listeners will appreciate it.
Yeah. I put it up on my shows, and first reaction, people are like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, and then when they're done, they're like, "That's kick ass, man." So, yeah, pretty cool. But so that brings me to my next topic, that all these talent shows now. You got The Voice, America's Got Talent. I don't know if there's any more right now or not, but those are the two big ones, right? And so stuff like him with Puddle's Pity Party, he has a YouTube channel. He makes money off of it. He also does other things, so I would consider him a professional. Postmodern Jukebox has albums, that they sell. So I'm confused on how some of those types of people can get through on America's Got Talent, because they're already discovered.
Right.
Right. So you've got them, and there's a guy on the people have been posting here recently. Said he had a recording contract when he was 14 that didn't pan out. It wasn't what he thought it was, is what he's saying. And he's saying, I don't know, Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey or some shit. I don't know. Same thing everybody sings when they want to wow somebody. But if he already had a recording contract, I don't understand how he should be eligible for that, And maybe America's Got Talent's different than The Voice.
Just how their rules are written, I guess. But, Billy Gilman, if you remember Billy Gilman when he was a little kid singing these country songs.
Right.
And he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Well, I remember his...
And then last season or 2 seasons ago, he entered himself into The Voice, and I think he won the damn thing.
Really?
Or he was close.
Huh. I knew he was back in one of them, but...
I don't think that's fair. And then
no.
I think that same season, the gal that played Curly Sue, remember the movie Curly Sue? Yeah, uh-huh. So she was a child actor, just did that. It probably paid for her college and stuff like that.
Right. She did a couple other movies too, but...
She did a couple other movies, but basically just kind of faded.
Right.
And then she wanted to get back into actually singing, and she actually had a pretty good voice. I think she went far.
Huh.
But I don't know. To me, that's not the spirit of the competition.
Right. It's supposed to be unknowns.
Right.
I would think, anyways. But yeah, speaking of Billy Gilman, back when we worked together, he kind of disappeared after what do you have? One Voice in Oklahoma were his 2 big songs. And I went to his website and it said, hey, going through the puberty thing right now, so his voice is cracking and changing. Please just bear with me. And that was like the last you ever heard of the kid.
Right.
So that brought me to the subtopic of this is they have it's cute, America's Got Talent. Oh, look at this little kid, he can sing. He's got just angelic voice, or she's got angelic voice, whatever. Yeah, for another 4 years, and then what happens? So I don't know how serious they are about pushing them through further, and and then you got to go through how do you reject a kid and go, hey, sorry, you sound great, but you're not going anywhere right now until you're done. The one girl they put through the instant ticket or whatever they call it, Grace something. She plays the ukulele and sings and does all of her own stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's what got her in there, because her voice is kind of smoky, cracky, you know. But they just had her headline the Special Olympics. She played with maybe John Mayer or somebody, a big name anyways to open and close for the Special Olympics, and she wrote all of her own songs for that. So that was pretty cool, you know.
So she has other talents that will take her places within the music industry.
Right.
Even if she can't ever sing again.
Correct.
She can write songs. She knows how to play the ukulele and maybe some other instruments.
Right.
To me, that's okay.
Yeah.
But they just had like this 9-year-old girl that sang some Whitney Houston song.
Right. Of course.
And she's not going to sound like that in 5 years.
No. No. Even with training, sometimes you just can't change what your vocal cords do as you grow. So, there's a couple things that kind of.
But still, she's an amateur.
Yeah.
And that's the spirit of the competition
Correct.
to me, because she's an unknown.
Yep.
She's never been paid for her skills, but she has the skill right now.
Right.
She could win it and then never be able to sing again.
Right. Correct. But, and then you.
But that's okay, because in 10 years she can go on The Voice.
Right. Right. So same thing, all these people, they always sing the Whitney Houstons and the Mariah Careys, something they can belt out.
I will always love you.
Yeah, those two artists probably get the most play in those shows. Great, you can belt out some power notes, but what else can you do? You see that in.
That's a couple of one-hit wonders right there.
Right. But they could hit those notes, and even Mariah Carey now has admitted she can't hit the high notes like she used to.
Right, because her boobs are too big.
Yeah, that could be what it is.
Pulling down on her vocal cords.
She's so well hung, but she said she can't hit them, and cool. I've got friends who've tried out for The Voice. My daughter's tried out for The Voice, and I always told them the same thing: sing something they don't expect you to sing. Everybody goes in singing what they look like they would sing.
Right.
So if I go in there, they're going to expect, hey, this guy's going to sing some classic rock, maybe some metal, maybe even some country. So if I go in there with Motown and just kick ass at it, they're going to be like, okay, this guy is multifaceted. He's doing stuff we didn't expect to come out of that mouth.
He's got some chops.
So maybe they're in the freezer. They're in the freezer right now. But
motherfucker, you got some chops.
Oh, and I'm dry. Shit. So
pork chops. I like pork chops.
Whenever they're on sale, Chris, my wife doesn't like them, but she tolerates them, I should say. It's not that she does, but she likes the thick chops.
Yeah.
But so whenever they're on sale, I just throw them in the freezer. I'll eat them more often than nothing, or cut them up and put them in something else. But
yeah.
So those talent shows, I'm a little disappointed lately on the talent they're pushing, because it's people who are either professional or they're kids. I want to see something funny or something new and fresh. And
I would agree with that.
So I don't know.
So have you seen these hard soda commercials? The Henry's hard soda, grape and orange.
Yep. Now they got the grape one. Yeah.
Popsicles, and they're like showing these off in their little flyer, one-page ads, or their TV commercials. What they got? Popsicles and popsicles.
Right.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. They're making different things with them. Yeah.
Right. Because like the grape tastes like a Welch's grape soda.
Right. Oh, I know.
And the orange, it's a little bit. It's got a different flavor to it, but it tastes like fucking pop.
But to me, it's too sweet. It did, sweet. But that's probably part of what put me in my diabetic range.
They're sweet.
That and that apple cider shit. God damn, I would drink the hell out of that. The Red's Apple Ale or whatever.
Those to me get too dry.
Yeah, probably.
I get 3 or 4 of them in me,
but
and then I gotta switch.
The bar in Granger, they sold the shit by the pitcher. Like,
Jesus.
And it was cheap. It was like $9 a pitcher or something. So we'd go down there and just keep buying pictures of it and get completely fucked up and
good Lord.
Try and, play roulette at the end of the day to see who's driving home. So, yeah, it was
danger.
Shit, yeah. So
I remember back in the day, they used to have a karaoke place down by the old pawn shop.
Yeah.
Or by the pawn shop.
Yeah, the lady who owned that, we'll come back to this, but left a really weird message on Facebook Not to me, but her Facebook status was really bizarre. But go ahead.
So we would go in there, and they had mini pitchers. The little tiny, they must have been quart,
Right. Yeah.
2 pints.
Yeah.
Pints is a
Probably
quart, right?
3-4 glasses worth, right? 4 glasses worth.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I just skipped the glass and
Right.
drink them right out of the pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6 of those, and you should not drive home.
No.
They're bad news.
No, even if you live right next door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you weren't that far from that place. Oh, I guess, I didn't know. I wouldn't have known you then, though, when they were open. Because then they get busted for drugs or some shit.
Yeah, that was after I had quit hanging out there.
Right.
It's just something. It was really fun at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, the whole atmosphere in that place changed.
Got a little shady, did it?
A lot shady. It got a lot shady, and at that time, then I had moved away temporarily.
Okay.
Came back, and it was done by the time I got back, which is fine, because it was not. There was some not good things happening down there.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if I was here yet when that place closed down because I didn't know anything about it, but I came in 2000. So
Yeah,
it would have been probably right around there.
Yeah.
Because when I started there, you weren't working there anymore
Right.
at the place we worked together, and then you came back.
Right. So it would have been right about that same time.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, she left just a bizarre message on Facebook, and I couldn't help but go, are you doing stuff again? She's lost a ton of weight, and it's just strange. But yeah, back in the day, I was at a place in Esterville drinking. And that was the first time anyone did the sneak kiss, here, give me a kiss on the cheek, and then turned and meth breath. Man, I just about gagged. It was terrible. So yeah, that was something else. But I was thinking about this today. The strip in general. There's nothing I really want to go see there anymore.
Right.
Things are getting kind of expensive. All the bars are changing, and they're becoming new and hip for the younger crowd. Not what I'm into, but it got me thinking of the Gardens back in the day.
Oh, that place was so awesome.
Yeah, go see the Cartwrights, and
Yeah.
I was never an after party kind of guy, but I know you had done it a couple times, and a lot of
Right.
people, they just go and party after the show, and
It was standing room only most nights on the weekend. The Cartwright brothers were there every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, every summer, every week. And no air condition. They could open the windows a little bit
right.
and turn fans on. The floor was unlevel. The bathroom doors didn't latch. It was quite the place.
Yeah,
But it was
I don't remember any of that.
one of the most amazing places. I mean, it was where I hung out there a lot.
So was that owners before the last owners then?
That was before Dick Brown bought the building.
So who owned it last before the current owners? Was that him or?
No.
Because the place wasn't bad.
He sold it, and then Butch Parks bought the Gardens.
Right.
So, yeah. And Butch bought the whole Emporium.
Right.
Correct.
I don't know. I think so.
I think so.
But I don't know.
So when they first did the remodel, of course they cleared that out, and then they dug back up under the building because they had to anyway.
Right.
Because the building was slowly falling into the lake.
Right. My father-in-law actually did all the work on that. The bracing back up.
Yeah. So they had to go back in, and it was crazy. Well, they made up this story about this treasure they found hidden back up under the building.
No shit.
And,
I never knew that.
And they related it into this. Well, Dick Brown owned the building, so they just called this pirate Whiskey Dick. And
no shit.
They said he hid it there a long time ago. He ran a boat on the lake and would steal shit out of other people's boats and
really?
shit like that.
Oh, that's
hid
funny.
all his loot back up under the Emporium.
Oh, that's funny. I
and
never
so
knew that.
they changed the name to Whiskey Dick's.
Right.
And that was the whole, I guess, mantra of the place. And then It did okay. They've made it real fancy, and back then you could still smoke in bars.
Right.
He put in like top of the line air filtration.
Right.
Like you couldn't even tell anybody was smoking in there. I could,
Right.
but you really couldn't when you were just sitting there.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
Depending on how many beers you had, and the sound system they put in there was like state of the art.
Right.
And they put in all the paneling was all sound. For places.
It was made for it.
It was made for music, and so bands sound fantastic in there.
Right.
But then when he finally sold it, the next owners changed the name back to the Gardens, which it should have been all along.
Right.
Gotcha. Because there were a lot of people that were upset that they changed the name.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I don't go there anymore.
I don't either. I in the winters, I go there once in a while for beer and wing night, even though I don't drink beer. But the wings are good. I like their wings. They're close. I don't have to drive too far to get there. And so they're summer. I just avoid it.
Yeah.
The only thing I do right now, my wife's working on some condos down there, so I brought her some boots. I hit some Pokestops on Pokemon Go, and then I come home. Just avoid that area at all costs. So
so I don't really go in the Gardens anymore, but it's
anymore.
That's my accent for the night.
Oh, let's not do accents. Oh shit, that stuff happens at Cards Against Humanity. People start talking weird and fuck that fucking game. So,
but that's It was fun while it lasted. We all have our stories, and
absolutely.
I've got one that I could just.
I still miss Woody's.
I do too. I have not eaten at Woody's in Esterville since the one over here closed.
Really, and it's new owners now.
I haven't had a Ferger. Too many years.
Yeah, the ultimate fur burger. Is that Ferger? Oh fuck, yeah, that was good. Yeah, now it's a peanut bar in Esterville, and they used to have the tap root beer. I don't think they have that anymore. But all the other stuff is still the same ingredients, and the pizzas are phenomenal. I wish they'd open back up over here.
I wish.
I'm not. Duke's is a good place. I don't need another burger joint. I liked Woody's there. It just fit. So, but this weekend's going to be cool. Seeing all the stuff on the strip. I like the Jill roster. I've started pulling it up, multiple times a day. And,
I check it every day.
Yeah, well, I don't sleep well at night, so usually about 3:30.
Yep.
I know they're not getting out until morning, so
right.
Usually about 3:08 is about the latest you see a booking into the jail.
Yep, and it's going to start probably tonight.
Yeah, Thursday night. Yeah, probably will.
So, and it'll last probably all of next week.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to be at work one day next week. Otherwise, I'm gone. So
I'm working 3 days, but I got a 4-day weekend coming.
Yeah, well, I found out my new company. We got bought out, and I was excited. 5 weeks of vacation. I'm like, awesome. That's kick ass. Well, I found out it's 5 weeks of PTO, and your holidays are PTO. So 8 of my days per year of my PTO days are sucked up for holidays. And my company only has 4th of July off. My client has 3rd and 4th of July off. So I have to take a PTO day because the client's closed. Unless there's some internal work for me to do, which right now there's not.
Right.
So if there is, nobody knows. Their communication is just shit right now. So. So yeah,
but the jail roster is always entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Public intox, assault.
I was
got in a fist fight.
Yeah, I always like the ones where the girl looks like she just got all dolled up for her picture.
Yeah.
It's like she's got to look pretty for her jail roster picture.
The ones that are the best are the women. You could tell they've been crying.
Right. Oh yeah.
The makeup's all down.
Yeah,
their
big
face.
Raccoon eyes, and they look like Alice Cooper got booked in jail.
Yep. Those are funny.
My theory about the whole, people are saying tourism's down, and this year I think it's probably up. It feels like it's up anyway. But my theory about all that is it's cyclical here in the area. So when we were younger, partying down in the area, they had the lake rats then, and not our crew of lake rats, but the rich lake rats that would come up for the summer and just trash everything on daddy's dime and then leave.
Right.
Well, now they've gone through college and they're starting families. So they're in that in-between stage, so they're not coming here as often. They might still have property here, they're just not coming. But when their kids start to grow, they're going to be bringing them back. And then now those kids in 15 years or whatever are going to be the ones terrorizing, and it'll be peaked again for tourism season. Right. So, little fuckers.
The only thing I've never been able to figure out is why do we call it tourist season if we can't shoot them?
Right. Well, yeah, I won't say. There's other things on the jail roster besides shootings. Yeah. So, yeah. We'll just.
So what was the deal the other night? You said you got some water in your trunk?
Yeah, my car, my baby. And I looked, it's in here right now. As y'all can't see, I've got a 63 Thunderbird. Bought it from a friend. Needs a little work, but it starts, it runs, it looks good, it drives, and it's for sale. I had it stored at a friend's house. They're using their garage for some other stuff now. And I don't want it to sit outside. It needs a new trunk seal. I've got one, but it needs to get put in, and I haven't had time to do that. So I can't tell you what Bubba's starting to do here. We've been asked not to talk about that stuff. But yeah, so it needs a trunk seal. But I looked in it today, and it wasn't as wet as I thought it was going to be. We had that 3-4 inches of rain the other night.
Yeah, I don't even know how much we got. A lot.
Well, I had an 8-cup measuring cup out for putting water in my smoker.
Yeah.
It was full, like to the brim.
Yeah.
So it was probably over full.
Wow.
So I don't know how much that is because it's tapered, but I would say that's at least 3-4 inches of rain. I was awake, just holy fuck, you know my car.
You know why turds are tapered at the end?
Yeah, keep your asshole from snapping shut.
That stings.
There's a guy when I was a kid. He was a janitor, and I was working in a program to give inner city kids jobs. I grew up in the inner city, so we would help the janitors in the summer get the schools ready. You got to strip the floors and re-wax them and all this shit. And this guy, he told me that fucking joke every goddamn day. It's like, okay, man, I get it. The first 3 times he said it so fast, I'm like, what did you just say? He kind of stuttered a little bit, whatever, and son of a bitch, by the end of the season, I'm like, Joe, I get it. Yeah, no asshole snappings going on here, Shit. Well, literally. But, yeah, so it's for sale. I'm asking $3,500 for it. I put some stuff in it, put new radio in it, an antenna, stuff for the windshield washers so they actually work, got the wipers working, got the blower fan working, which didn't work. So, but it needs some little cosmetic stuff here and there. It needs a few other things, but market value, which means fair condition, not pristine condition. So fair market value is $11,500. I'm asking $3,500. I'm not going to stray from that. If people don't want to pay it, then they don't want to pay it. Yeah. So this thing still runs like a dream. I've driven it up and down to, a couple hours away and back many times, and the thing's awesome. So, but it's time to go. With that money, I don't know what I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to hang on to it. I'd like to get a Mustang again, but I'm not going to find a decent one for that price. So I may just turn it in and get a pontoon.
You don't want
so I do. I want another Mustang. My nephew's restoring my old one, and it looks pretty sweet already. He's doing a kick-ass job. Yeah, he's put another about $2,000 into it so far in body work.
Did you sell it to him?
I gave it to him.
Oh.
I paid $3,000 for that, give or take. And then I said, "Here, fix it up, give it to your mom, and that'll be my gift to her, your gift to her." I said, "The only condition, if you ever sell it, I get first dibs. Period."
Yeah.
So hopefully they won't, and hopefully it'll be done soon. We're not getting any younger, but yeah. So that's going. We'll see. But I was thinking too. Yeah, I'm reminiscing, looking at my car. This weekend, I was going to take it out and drive it around, but I've got 3 shows, 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have time.
You should have had it uptown Saturday night.
Corey brought it up there.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was driving it around. That's how it ended up out of his garage. Because he put his boat in the garage now, and we've been recarpeting his boat. But, yeah, him and his girlfriend were driving it around uptown.
I saw them, but didn't see the car.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I told him, I said, take it out, drive it a little bit. You know, it needs it.
Yeah.
I haven't had time.
Run that gas through the carb.
Yeah, definitely.
Blow the carbs out. Blow
For real.
out.
For real. This one I've never had the carbs flame up, but I have had those in another car. I was working on it, threw some starter fluid down in there, and floosh, flames come right out of it. Fantastic. That's what happened to my smoker the other day. This is the second time this happened to me. It just pisses me off. So I had 3 pork roasts in there, pork butts.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, the garlic one, dude, amazing. We'll get to what I did. So, but, you know, got them up to where it's stalled, wrapped them in paper. There were 3 of them. So first shelf, middle shelf, top shelf. Wrapped them up in paper. I go out there. You could see the thing was smoking. It ran out of water. So it was just burning grease. So get out there, open the door, and the fucking thing starts on fire. The pan does, because it got a big gust of air on that hot grease. Started on fire. These things are wrapped in fucking paper. So they start on fire. So I take my oven mitts, grab the flaming pan. It's literally flaming, about 2 feet high, singe my eyebrow, and I just throw it out into the yard so it's not on anything wooden.
Flaming like, Jesus Christ, let me down.
Right, yeah, worse. Just a big old greasy flamer. Fuck, so first thing I do, throw the pan out, and then I look in there, all the paper's on fire. So I grab a big cup of water, whoosh, chuck it in the smoker to put the paper out. Then go grab another cup of water, whoosh, throw it on the pan, so the pan goes out. You know, and then I fill the pan back up with water, put it back in. It's the weirdest thing, because the top and the bottom ones pulled right apart. I got those cool Wolverine claws, you know. Meat pulled right apart. Middle one was sliceable, but it wasn't pullable. And I don't. The only thing I can think of is it was a bigger roast. I don't know why else that would be the only one. And I tried to get them all about the same size, but the cool thing is, so I put them in here, put them in crock pots. By the end of the night, that one was perfect. So in the crock pot, it finally broke down enough. But I took 3 heads of garlic, so the whole thing, peeled them, 2 full onions, and 5 jalapenos. Put them all in our Vitamix and just made this paste, and then put salt and put coarse salt and ground pepper in there too, and made this really thick paste. Oh my God, that was the best roast I've ever had.
It's almost like a chimichurri.
I had no clue. I just did it off the top of my head because I love garlic, and son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It didn't need any seasoning or nothing.
Yeah.
Just
that'd be good enough.
Suck it right out of the pot. Oh, so good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I was looking at your. I gotta quit saying so. One of the things I need to work on. Smokers. So I saw you had one.
I do have one for sale.
How tall is it?
Probably.
It is. So it's one. I used to have one of those. I threw it away.
It's maybe 3 feet tall.
Tops, yeah. So I had one of those. I can't keep the heat in them. It seems like it takes a hell of a lot more work for that than it does. You know, I've got a gas one. It's pretty easy to regulate the heat in a gas smoker. But the little one, like a little bit windy day, and that thing would just be cold. You know, I could never get it right. And I'm wondering, would a bigger smoker be better for heat?
Well, a bigger smoker would definitely take more charcoal to heat.
Right.
It depends on the smoker itself.
Right.
I mean, I've got the 22.5-inch Weber Smoky Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get, with an 18-pound bag of charcoal, I can get 15 hours.
Wow, okay.
Which is usually enough to do a brisket or pork butt, whatever.
So to maintain the heat in those, then, do you just use the shutters and stuff on them?
Yep.
Okay.
And actually, I just bought this spring. It's called a Barbecue Guru.
Okay.
So you connect a fan to the side of one of the vents at the bottom, and it's got a controller on it with a temperature probe. And you put the probe inside, and you set your temperature. So when it senses that the smoker's cooling down, it blows air in to stoke the fire
Really?
or stoke the coals.
Yeah.
And then the smoker heats up and the fan shuts off. But it's programmed to just even out your temperatures,
Right.
so you don't have to constantly be messing with vents, which you don't have to do a lot with a Weber Smoky Mountain, but I want to be able to put some meat on at 10 o'clock at night and go to bed,
Gotcha.
so I could have lunch the next day,
Right.
right? So
See, I'm always afraid.
this is going to make it easier.
How do you do it overnight? Mine, the water always evaporates out of it.
Well, in the 22.5 inch, that thing holds like probably 3 gallons of water. And it's far enough away.
Right.
You know, the water never really boils.
Right.
It's just the way a Smoky Mountain works. Now, with the smaller one, you maybe have to keep an eye on it, but I doubt it.
Right. The one I have to constantly watch the water in that thing. I probably fill it up 7-8 times of 8+ cups per time.
Right.
Turning the burner off first so the grease doesn't get on it and start the damn thing on fire. But I wonder if I could just get a deeper pan then for it.
I would look for a deeper pan.
Because it wouldn't even hold a gallon. It holds 8 cups.
Or what a lot of people do with the Smoky Mountain is they don't put water in the pan. They just leave it. Some people put sand in it just to keep a heat sink.
Right. But what do you do then for the grease? Because my thing is then the grease will fall in the wood pan and catch fire.
Right. And you don't want that. So there's got to be something
a grease trap
a grease trap, or you got to have
Gotcha.
Something. But on my big smoker, that water pan's far enough away from the coals that it's there's probably
right
a good foot.
Right. Because that's why I kind of wanted that big one that's behind you there that I put together, because I thought, hey, the coal box is on the side, the meat's over here, the heat would probably regulate okay.
Right.
But I wouldn't worry about the grease hitting the fire and starting up on fire. And it's got a wood rack on the bottom of it, and an ash rack, whatever, but where you put your wood and all that. But
right now, I don't know a whole lot of if you're gonna just do stick burn, which is barbecue without coals.
Right.
You're gonna basically burn logs.
Right.
To keep your heat and your smoke. I've always only ever used charcoal.
Right.
With chunks of wood.
And I've always just used gas, so I'm not.
Yeah. I had a gas one for a while, but I couldn't keep it cool enough. It wanted to go up to like 350.
Oh,
even
this
on
one's
low.
beautiful. Yeah, I can put it just a hair above medium.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
That meat's so good. I had to put it in the freezer. It gets kind of rich after about 3 days. It's like, okay, I need to eat something else besides smoked pork.
Yeah.
Or my toe from gout is going to swell up the size of a fucking softball.
That's right.
But yeah, so going on a fish fry this weekend. Or next weekend. And I'm going to put 2 briskets on the smoker early Wednesday morning, maybe even Thursday night, so that Wednesday morning they're ready to go to Uncle John's Fish Fry up in Minnesota.
Yeah, you go every year.
Yeah. And he didn't want to do it this year, so we're going up Wednesday night to help him get everything ready. 2 days to get ready, and then 1 day to tear down. Take a little stress off him.
Saturday.
It's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
hoping to go to some karaoke there that Friday night and tear up the town.
Where does he live?
North of the cities in Minnesota. Small. Well, it used to be a small town. It's a suburb now. You know, people drive 45 minutes to get to the cities and not think about it.
Right.
Or back in the day, it's like, fuck that. I'm not driving that far to work.
Right.
So your brother gave me a message, something about poison ivy. He he can't do it tonight.
He got into some sumac, and he looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. He's not well.
Yeah, he said he has a massive reaction. It sucks. But my number is 555. No, it's he says, let me know if you need my social security number too. I really need someone to steal my identity. So we'll
work on that.
Yeah, no, I'll trade you. How's that? I'll trade you. You can have mine. But yeah, so he can't do it tonight. We'll be gone next week. Like I said, we're still building on this. Our plan is to be funnier, so we want to come up with topics that will entertain and delight. But we're trying to stay away from politics and religion, and that's where all the comedy is right now. So, I mean...
Well, it depends who you ask.
Well, right. But, I mean, it just seems like they're both just a fucking joke anymore.
Pretty much.
You know, everyone gets their panties in a wad over the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And
I blame the internet for a lot of it.
fuck yeah. Yeah. I mean, the internet's made for porn. Why, keep politics off of it.
Get your politics, your religion
pornitics.
Off the net.
Yeah.
Show me titties.
Absolutely. Hey, did you see the thing with that? I posted it last year. That guy who was at a church and it took the demon out of him. I don't like men's no more. I like women's. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to repost that.
We'll put a link to that in the show notes.
I can't find it anywhere. I saved it when I saw it, and I have it on my computer.
And we're gonna have to re-upload it.
Oh shit, it's so funny. Because he's like, I like women's, and he goes, and all of a sudden it shows like a sheep. It's just fucking hilarious. Oh, here, that phone's weird. The back's got a button. It's the back button.
How do you work this fucking contraption?
Here, I gotta log into it anyway.
I'll just do it like 10 times and it'll wipe your phone.
Yeah, awesome. That's what I need. What do you need on it?
The time.
Oh, that was already up there.
Yeah, but I couldn't see the last digit.
1.
Because it was a 1. And it was right in the middle of
the property of ones.
The property of ones. A 1 is not cold. What is it?
A 1 that isn't cold is scarcely a 1 at all. How did you forget?
Oh my god.
We're going to have to link that too, just so you get it. So we'll be gone next week. I'll be out of town. Bub will be out of town. But we'll come back the week after. And again, leave us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to hear. We'll get more chuckles in as the time goes through. I don't want Spotify. As the time goes on, hopefully these new mics are going to sound good.
I hope.
And, I didn't even check. Hopefully we're recording. Yeah, we're good. So, shit, that would have been funny. But, all right, we'll catch up in 2 weeks. And, again, leave us some feedback. We'd love to hear about it and get things going here. So, thanks, everybody.
Peace out.
Bitches.